Hello, I'm the Blue Occurring Wings, and this is 9 months later. This turned up a couple of days before Christmas, and to be fully honest, it was 7 days short of 9 months after I first ordered it. I had hoped to get this as my primary for Battle of Britain Earth 2, but obviously that was 7 months ago. Anyway, here it is now. Box probably waiting ages for. Gonna say, I've already had this open once and had a bit of a look at it. There's plenty of other people who've probably already got reviews of this out there, particularly people with nice big subscriber accounts who probably made sure it got to there on time. Give this thing its due. It does look nice. When I've had it out and screwed it together, it does seem to go together well. There are instructions included, which seems to be more than some of the worker stuff. Obviously this seems to focus on the Zeus 2 shell. I've got a Longshot I've already taken apart. This is the mystery spring. Now the kit on the website says it's an LS16. And I'm just going to double check the instructions before I run my mouth. Well, it does actually say it's a 16 kilogram springs here. The website didn't say what it was. The instructions do claim it's a 16. Now, I think I've seen a video previously where it was advised I got this honed. So I'm going to pop this out to the garage and get it honed. Okay, we've just popped out to the garage and I'm going to cylinder hone the plunger tube. So I'm seeing somewhere that was a good idea to do. And it's only going to take a few minutes. I don't have an excuse to buy new tools, right? This one goes from 18 to 89 mil. We've got a little list settling on there. The advice, as I seem to remember off the internet, is basically add a bit of oil to it. It'll be fine. But yeah, that's the aluminium. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you can see, got the threads in there. The threads have been cut through the anodized outer level. So obviously this was coated, then machined. If that's of any interest to anybody. Never done this before. Hopefully it goes okay. As I understand it, turn it on, move it backwards and forwards. I failed already. Just going to have a go in from this end so we can actually see the threads better. Right, so you've just seen me doing that. Yeah, it's got all kinds of scratchy patterns in there now. I mean, it does actually feel, I think it feels good enough. Getting it back here and having another go. I'm sure I'll figure it out, see if it's good enough. Funny thing was, the guy I did order this through, he did the initial group buy. He suggested that instead of using their barrel and their spring, if I wanted more power, I'd go and get, I think he recommended an 18 kilogram turf spring and the longer barrel from Monkey Mods. So I've got the longer Monkey Mods barrel, but in order to save postage I got the worker spring because I could get them together at the same time. My plan is to install what we've got here in the Longshot shell and then get it chronoed, and after it's been chronoed I will take it all apart again, put in the longer ones and see how much of a difference that makes. From some of the people who've already built this, it does seem you actually could do some plumber's tape around the various threads just to seal them fully, because some people seem to be missing like 40 FPS or whatever it was. So I will be doing that. We'll start doing a bit of it now. hole they drilled does look like it's a nice distance back from the front. However, when you look down it, the depth of the hole this way only goes to the back of the threads. So ideally I'd like to be able to fit the screw into the recess, but it's just not machined that way. If your metal's good, you get a nice ring like that. There we go. Slide that home. You can see there's a trench there and a trench there. And those need to go into those. After I ordered this originally, I actually impulse bought this Longshot and grip kit off somebody on Britain. It came up, I snapped it up because I need it really soon and quick for when this turned up. I think it's the, not the low profile, the other one. Let's do an initial, see if this actually works. That's a click. Solidly all the way forward. We are dry firing, bolt is shut, but because we're dry firing, we're going to have our thumb over the end, hope for the best. Oh yes, can we get closer? Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay, that works. Alright, next step is to fit the pump grip. Let's have a look at this pump grip. It's not the sexy low pro one, it's the higher profile one. Oh, there you go. F10 555, exactly the stuff you're used to. Nothing fancy for you to look at here, so I'm just going to plough on and get it assembled. So there we go, blue Longshot, Jet Blaster Omega kit, worker pump grip. Right, this is a little dart safety guide thing that goes along the top of the Omega kit. I've had this in previously, you can see where it's scraped along here. The reason for that being, there is a little indentation here, but when it fits into this part here, and said screw there clamps down onto it, it should hold it in place. Problem is I've not machined the gap deep enough into this. So instead of sitting there with the screw in the middle, it sits forward a bit. I've had it tight, you can see where it's squashed it flat, but it's sitting at an angle, causing it to grind. So I'm going out to the garage and actually attack it with an angle grinder, get this bit completely flat and level to that, so that it will sit in flat instead of at an angle, and that'll be hopefully a bit better. While I had the shell open to redo the dart guide, I thought I'd fit the jam door, which I'd not done previously due to a little plastic lip on the inside that gets caught. It fouled on the new metal dart gate, so I simply snipped up the sides, got a pair of pliers and wiggled the lip loose and filed it down with a small file, as you can see in this picture here. And that fitted in basically fine at that point, and you can open and close it, so it keeps the dirt out, but you can actually open it to clear jams. When fitting a heavier spring, there's a danger that the stock will collapse under the heavier priming load. So what people do is they fit a stock block within the stock, which is simply a piece of in mine, instance, I've used a big bit of wood because I had it lying around. It was easy enough for me to cut it to length, reduce the width, and that way it fitted perfectly into the back of the stock, and I screwed that back in, attached it to the blaster. Now when priming it, I found obviously you're pushing that entire 16 kilogram spring into your shoulder, and it digs into your shoulder and aches a bit, so I needed some form of buff on the back. Now you can buy proper buffer ones, but I looked around my desk, found this roll of bubble wrap, rolled it up, taped it together, then taped it onto the stock. So it's sort of super cheap, but it seems to be working for now. I've also dragged out the modular sort of barrel shroud just to stop me accidentally stabbing anybody from running around with that metal tube on there. Which kind of brings me to the end of all this. I've run 50 darts over the chrono with this blaster and got an average of 202 FPS with a standard deviation of 3.93, which is very good and very consistent. However, at 202 FPS compared to the 236, I'm getting at my Caliburn, which is easier to prime, and apparently that's down on power. So after all the expense of buying this thing and waiting ages and putting it together, part of the reason I've just slapped on the modulus attachments and the bubble wrap stuff is the entire thing feels a bit, frankly, obsolete. It's not producing as much power as the Caliburn and requires more effort to do so. So I'm probably not going to get rid of it because, you know, I wanted to build a high power Longshot, but again, I just feel it's basically obsolete. It's a bit of a pity really, but that's that. Thanks for watching.